Good evening and welcome to the 585th episode of Travel It's Radio. I'm Dan Schlossberg. Roger Noriega cannot be with us tonight. We are in the 14th season of Travel It's Radio, the show that lets you enjoy the pleasures of travel from the comfort of your armchair. Every week at this time, we talk to people representing destinations, hotels, airlines, railroads, car rental companies, and others in the world of travel and hospitality, from authors and bloggers to broadcasters and publicists. If it's got anything to do with travel, it's got everything to do with Travel It's Radio. Our guest today is Jack Cormier, Senior Communications Supervisor of Visit Central Florida. Welcome, Jack, to Travel It's Radio.
Thank you, Dan, for having me on. It is a beautiful day here in Central Florida.
Yes, I'm in Fort Myers. It's beautiful here, too, so I'm enjoying very much the Florida weather. I'm so glad that you're here, Jack, because there's so much to share about Polk County. I had no idea it's the fourth largest county in the state. Where exactly is it located and how many square miles does it include?
Well, if you've ever driven down I-4 between Tampa and Orlando, you've driven through Polk County. We're more than 2,000 square miles, right smack dab in the middle of I-4.
We love baseball spring training here on Travel It's Radio, and this is the 89th season in Lakeland for the Detroit Tigers. That's the longest of any of the 30 teams. Does Joker Marchant Ballpark allow spectators to step back in time and have a real old-time spring training experience?
It is truly one of the gems of the Grapefruit League. It is small and intimate. And one of the things that we do that no one else does any longer in Major League Baseball is we have a barbecue in the beginning of the season where folks can buy tickets, come on out, and actually hang out with the players. I was hanging out with Alan Trammell and a few of the folks just a week ago.
Oh, not bad. And by the way, Lou Whitaker is one of the guys who really should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he should be. It's a sin he isn't.
That's for sure. You know, speaking of anniversaries, it's been more than 50 years for the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo, also in Lakeland. And that takes place early next month. So please share.
So that is the second largest fly-in in the country. Although I like to tell folks, it's more than just planes. Aerospace now is a part of our lives. So it's everything from drones. And when I say drones, I mean drones probably larger than a minivan, to military transports, and of course your Blue Angels and that sort of thing as well.
And we hear the word glamping a lot in the travel industry. So tell our viewers about Westgate River Ranch Resort, named the #1 glamping spot in America by USA Today Reader's Choice Awards.
So Westgate River Ranch is a true gem that should be on more people's radar. It is the largest dude ranch east of the Mississippi. It is massive. It has bison that roam free. And it is glamping, but not necessarily glamping. If you feel like roughing it, you can start in a basic tent, stay in a Conestoga wagon, if you would like that, or at the high end of the glamping, you have teepees that have air conditioning. They also have a rodeo. They have all sorts of activities. Of course, one of the favorites here are the airboat rides. Everyone likes getting out and seeing our reptilian friends.
We'd also like to hear about Camp Margaritaville, named the top luxury RV resort by those same USA Today readers.
Camp Margaritaville is centrally located in the county in Auburndale. It is on an old blueberry farm right on the banks of Lake Myrtle. It is not just an RV park. There's also and park is I'm doing it, sliding it a little bit. It is a high-end RV park. There's no long-term stays. It's got its own mini golf. It's really the vacation spot that your dog will want to come back to day after day, because there is a large dog park, dog washing stations, dog-friendly activities, and it is ringed with tiny cabins. So you don't necessarily have to have an RV. You can either rent one if you'd like to try the RV experience, or you can stay in a cabin, which I've done more than once.
And we're talking with Jack Cormier of Visit Central Florida. Jack, what is Bach Tower Gardens and where is it? We hear it as a singing tower with carillon bells. And wasn't it once called Cypress Gardens?
No, it was not called Cypress Gardens, but the carillon is basically a giant instrument. So the tower itself is a 205-foot tall instrument. A carillon is a bell instrument played with a keyboard with your fists. Believe it or not, it's a very physical sort of a beating on this thing, and it is one of the oldest tourist attractions in the state. Woodrow Wilson was there to commemorate it when it opened, and Edmund Bach was a philanthropist who wanted to give sort of a peaceful the inner peace that he felt in this part of the state back to the public.
Whatever happened to Cypress Gardens?
Well, Cypress Gardens is now Legoland.
Wow, okay.
So they took the same footprint. So the same place where Easy to Love and all those old water ski movies were filmed is now where Legoland is.
Okay. Isn't it also a National Historic Landmark? We're talking about Bach Tower Gardens that has rare plants and animals not found anywhere else.
Yes. So it is part of the ridge. There is a ridge through the middle of the state. Believe it or not, that actually has some elevation. I know people elsewhere like to think of Florida as flat. This is actually when you get into some sort of rolling hills, and that ridge was the one part that stayed above the water during the Ice Age. So as the water subsided, those plants remained, and there's all sorts of different plants and insects and animals there that cannot be found anywhere else in the world.
Speaking of natural attractions, Polk County is known as Chain of Lakes and is a popular place for boating, fishing, all kinds of water sports. How many lakes does it have?
So the Chain of Lakes is in Winter Haven. Used to be the spring training home for the Red Sox and the Indians. The chain has 26 lakes. It has 10 lakes in the northern part of the chain, 16 in the south. The chain was an idea of a yacht club right around the turn of the century, although Dick Pope, who founded Cypress Gardens, was actually the man who brought it to fruition years later.
Although Polk County is not on either coast of Florida, the town of Winter Haven is known as the water ski capital of the world. How is that possible?
Well, so back to Dick Pope and Cypress Gardens. Mr. Pope went off to World War II. While he was away, his wife was running what was really just a botanical park at the moment. And the legend has it that some soldiers came from nearby, and people were just sort of leisurely water skiing in the water. They told their friends about it back at the base. Other soldiers came out, wanted to see the water ski show, not wanting to turn anyone away. They put on an impromptu water ski show, and that water ski show has been part of Central Florida history for 80 years now. Just recently, Legoland has kind of suspended it. It'll start going back to seasonal, but from that, we earn the nickname of the water ski capital of the world. There have been more water ski records broken in waters of Polk County than anywhere else in the world.
Isn't there actually a water skiing museum?
Yes, there is. At our visitor center up off of I-4 on State Road 27, there is a water ski museum that has, back to Easy to Love, that has the original bathing suit that was worn in that movie, as well as memorabilia from water skiers throughout not only the United States, but also internationally.
The next question is obvious, Jack. With so many marshes and lakes, where can visitors find and photograph alligators? Anywhere.
No, I'm kidding. The best place really is Circle B. It is a park outside of Lakeland that is one of the top rated nature parks in the country, and what's neat about it is there's no fences, there's no gates, the alligators frolic naturally. They really don't want anything to do with us in most cases. Nor do the wild hogs, nor do the bald eagles, nor do all the other wildlife that's out there. And you can see alligators right from babies not much bigger than your pinky finger, all the way up to true dinosaurs.
We're talking with Jack Cormier of Visit Central Florida. Legoland, you mentioned Legoland Florida Resort. It's a big deal in Central Florida, but isn't
Yes,
it
sir.
geared toward children? We hear it includes a Legoland Hotel, Legoland Beach Resort, and the new Legoland Pirate Island Hotel. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, it's really it's geared for up to the preteen. You know, teens may enjoy it, but it's really geared for a little bit younger, and it is everything bricktacular that you can imagine, from mascots to all sorts of different activities, rides, of course. They have the flying couches from the movie and other things like that that you can see and enjoy. I think Psycho Cat's Ball Drop tends to be one of the more popular rides there. It's a little too intense for me, but it'd be great for someone about 12 years old.
I love this name, the Peppa Pig theme park. Just 2 years old, it's a stone's throw from Legoland Florida Resort. I'm familiar with Arnold the pig from Green Acres, but not Peppa, so you'll have to fill me in.
Dan, you dating yourself. Arnold the pig, really?
I love that show.
So, so Peppa Pig is a star from the UK who has sort of crossed over into American stardom, and so much so that a lot of parents will complain that their kids starting to talk with British accents from watching Peppa and her family. She likes to splash in muddy puddles, and this park encapsulates all the family fun of the Peppa Show in really something that is geared toward a little bit younger caliber. It's really, they like to call it a pink knuckle experience. Not quite white knuckle, not quite red knuckle. It is the perfect first theme park for younger children, whether it is a roller coaster ride and different splash areas, of course, to go with the muddy puddles. And one of the things that I really like about it is it has free space. It has space that allows children to play freely and interact with other children they may not know before they get there. So it has that sort of communal feel, and of course, it has Peppa. Who can't like Peppa?
Salt and pepper, right?
Yeah.
This is Travel It's Radio with Dan Schlossberg. Roger Noriega is not here tonight. We're in our 14th season, approaching our 600th episode. We're live at 5 New York time every Thursday on LinkedIn, YouTube, WhatsApp, X, and Facebook, among others. Jack, when I think of Central Florida, I don't necessarily think of safaris, but your safari wilderness has been cited as one of the 10 best safaris in the U.S. by Photos.com. We hear it's a great place to see exotic animals on land and in the water, with tours by ATV, kayak, or even camelback. And I'd love to be there for the feeding of the ring-tailed lemurs.
So you would, they would love you too, because they hang all over you, and they really do want to be fed. Safari Wilderness is an experience truly unlike any other that we have in this area. It is African hoofstock without cages. They roam free and enjoy the very safari-like nature that we have here in Central Florida, where that area is on the edge of the Green Swamp, which provides basically the water for Central Florida. It's the filtration system for our drinking water, and so it is very flat and open and slightly marshy. And you can hop on a camel, you can hop on an ATV, you can even take your own car and be guided as well through the experience. My favorite is to go with a bus, because the fun of the bus is to see the experience of everyone else as the animals lean in and want to be fed right out of your hand.
Speaking of animals, we hear Polk County has an old cattle ranch that is now one of the top 50 places to see wildlife, according to USA Today. And we're talking about the Circle B Bar Reserve, and we hear it's right on Alligator Alley.
Yes, so back to the alligators. So Circle B is I'm sure you've seen him on the news, the granddaddy of them all that they showed crossing the path a while back with the big extended neck. That is Circle B, and it is truly alligators in the wild, but not just alligators. Like I said earlier, it's everything from bald eagles, hawks, all sorts of different wildlife that just naturally get to frolic and roam in a safe place, and it is truly one of the top spots in our area, not just for hiking, but also for photography. In fact, our Grady Judd, our semi-famous sheriff who tends to make the news a lot, is what he really likes to shoot are birds, and he goes out there and takes photos of them all the time.
Okay, we're talking with Jack Cormier of Visit Central Florida. Jack, with so many lakes, it follows that Polk County features many varieties of fish. Is it also true that Central Florida is known as the largemouth bass capital of the world?
Yes, we have the record for the largest bass caught in the country, and it is not unusual to catch one over 10 pounds just on a given day. We have the eastern part of the county tends to be a little bit more rural, and that's where you'll find the lakes. Honestly, not too far from Cypress Gardens. In fact, a lot of guys just like fishing in the chain.
Okay, I want to tell our viewers that you're watching Travel It Radio with Dan Schlossberg, and usually also with Roger Noriega. You can watch us on several different outlets, including Facebook, X, WhatsApp, YouTube, and LinkedIn, among others. Polk County is known for architecture too. Is it true that Frank Lloyd Wright architecture can be found on the campus of Florida Southern College in Lakeland?
Yes, sir. It is the largest single spot to see Frank Lloyd Wright's work. He came to Lakeland and built what he calls the Child of the Sun. It is the entire campus is an homage to the citrus groves that used to ring that part of town. They're no longer there, but the campus is, and it is right around an absolutely gorgeous Lake Hollingsworth, which is one of the most jogged lakes in the country. So it's really a fun spot to not only go and experience Mr. Wright's architecture, but whether you are there to see some of their award-winning sports or just to take a run around the lake, it's a great spot.
In addition to the dozen or so structures that are there, what other museums can be found in Polk County?
Well, not far away is the Ashley Gibson Barnett Museum of Art. It is one of the top free museums of art in the nation, and it is just recently expanded, put on a whole new wing. They have a permanent Andy Warhol exhibit and other art. Just recently had one of the sort of the Florida classics they call them the Highwaymen. There were artists that were by the side of the road and sold their art, and now are considered classics. They have a standard Highwaymen exhibit as well.
Tell our viewers about food and restaurants they can find in Central Florida. We love dining with a view, and Polk County has plenty of places that fit that description, even one with the unlikely name of the Texas Cattle Company.
The Texas Cattle Company looks over one of our many beautiful lakes, and that gentleman actually raises the cattle that you will be served in the restaurant. It's truly a unique dining experience. Another one would be Harborside. That is in Winter Haven and is on the chain of lakes. It's another gorgeous restaurant where folks will come up by boat to pick up their food and walk away and enjoy it. Of course, one of the little known secrets of outside of Florida is the fact that Polk County is the barbecue capital of the state. We have more award-winning pit masters in Florida, in this part of Florida, than anywhere else. And finding good barbecue is easy. Finding great barbecue is even easier.
How about citrus? I love oranges and drink gallons of orange juice. Polk County is known for pumping out perfect citrus and has even been dubbed the citrus capital of the world. Isn't your citrus industry more than a century old?
Yes, sir. And while citrus is waning, greening has affected the industry. Polk County continues to be one of the leaders in the state. If you want the true citrus experience, what I tell folks is to go out to Ridge Island Groves in Haines City. Look for Archie Rich is his name. Archie is the proprietor, and his family will gladly give you a tour of their groves. You can pick an orange right off the tree. You can even experience their handmade ice cream with various citrus flavors.
I'm glad you mentioned Haines City. I remember Boardwalk and baseball quite well.
Yes, sir. Home of the Kansas City Royals for a long time.
That's right. Are there places people can pick their own produce or even try something called grapefruit pie?
Yeah, so you can pick it at Ridge Island Groves. There are other areas we have. We've sort of started to evolve into blueberries. So there's during blueberry season, there's plenty of you-pick blueberries as well. Strawberries, of course, are also popular in Polk County. But let me tell you, the grapefruit pie is an acquired taste. But the Langs, right outside of Haines City, is the creator of the grapefruit pie. Has been featured on the Food Network as well as many other cooking shows, and it is a popular stop.
We are talking with Jack Cormier of Visit Central Florida. Jack, in many past visits to Florida, I stayed in vacation homes where I got a lot more bang for the buck. Spacious, quiet accommodations, private pool that cost a lot less than the typical hotel room. Doesn't Polk County have plenty of choices?
Yes, we have. So with over 15,000 rooms in the county, you can stay anywhere from a fine chain hotel, if that's what you wish, to a vacation rental home. I personally think the vacation rental home for a family is the best way to stay because you can enjoy the best of Polk County, or if you would rather go to the beaches, you're still just an hour away. If you'd rather go to Orlando, you are a half hour away, and come back to the vacation home at the end of it when the kids are tired and everyone's hot and exhausted, and hop in the pool. We tend to have them closer to the Orlando side of the county, and they remain a very popular and thrifty way to visit Central Florida for a large family.
Okay, speaking of large families, hasn't Lakeland been famous for swans for more than 100 years?
Yes, our swans actually go back to England. At one point, the swans in Lakeland got some sort of a bird flu and passed. A family reached out to the Queen of England and asked for some swans. They were flown here from London and repopulated the lakes in Lakeland. So we have actual descendants of those swans right now in Lakeland, and we have fully embraced them. We like to call ourselves the Swan City.
Great story. Great story. Polk County is famous for golf, too. Aren't there 3 internationally acclaimed golf courses at the Streamsong Resort, not to mention more than 40 historic and championship golf courses throughout the county?
Well, you have really touched upon a warm part of my heart with golf. We'll start with Streamsong. Streamsong has 3 of the top 10 courses in the nation right now, public courses. So you've got blue, red, and black. Black is golf on a completely different level, where it's almost cartoonish. It's so large. The sand traps look like you could film the beginning of Kung Fu in them. They're so big. And meanwhile, red and blue sort of intertwine through the other part of Streamsong. They just also recently opened the Chain, which is golf without par and without tees. It's really meant for head-to-head competition, or as I like to say, for money changing. Besides Streamsong, we also have plenty of great golf around the rest of the county. Whether you go up to Southern Dunes, that's in Haines City. There is Southern Dunes is a championship golf course. At night, they have the Tracer Bays that are super popular. You can go over to the other side of the county, and you've got Eagle Brook in Lakeland, which is renowned for its expansive water hazards. And if you're like me, that's the last thing you need. But still, some people like playing around water. And of course, we have all sorts of historic golf courses. We are part of what they like to call the Hickory Tour. We have 4 historic golf courses in the county.
What are your peak and bargain seasons in Central Florida?
Well, I don't have to tell you, it's peak season right now.
Yes.
This is the time you want to be down here. You've escaped the cold, and really until the end of spring break, this is really peak season. The down season for us would be the summertime. I think as the rest of the state would say, when it's hot, the bargains can be found. Again, of course, the hot is all relative. I like to golf in the summertime. Golf is fairly inexpensive here in the summertime. If you get out in the morning, you could usually have a great round of golf before it gets to be 100 degrees. And then, if you're lucky enough and you avoid the rains in the afternoon, you can get in some night golf if you'd like as well.
Is there anything I haven't asked you, Jack, that you would like to add?
Well, we are the sort of right now, I think we talked a little bit offline about this. Right now, we are in diamond season, what I like to call. So we have, besides spring training, we have Russ Mat Baseball going on, which is the largest collegiate baseball tournament in the nation. More than 300 baseball teams, college teams, are down for that. As well, we have part of Dot Richardson's the spring games. We have her Division II teams in at the moment, which is 100 softball teams. So this is the Diamonds Are Forever time of Polk County, where every diamond is full and people are out there swinging away. We absolutely love our baseball down here. This is the time to come down if you are a sports fan.
How can Travel It's Radio viewers learn more about Central Florida and Polk County?
Come right on over to the website. Visit centralflorida.com is the website. All spelled out just the way it sounds, and check us out. We've got plenty of deals and things to find there, and lots more to do than I was able to talk about.
My guest today on Travel It's Radio has been Jack Cormier, Senior Communications Supervisor for Visit Central Florida. Thank you for being our guest on Travel It's Radio this week.
Thank you for having me on, Dan. Good talking to you.
And thanks for pinch hitting. Great seeing you again, Jack.
Good seeing you.
And viewers, with spring training exhibition baseball now in full swing, as Jack mentioned, this is your chance to share the excitement with my latest baseball biography, Home Run King, the remarkable record of Hank Aaron. Featuring a foreword by Dusty Baker, this 256-page hardcover explores Aaron's contributions as a home run hitter on and off the field, as an athlete and as an advocate for civil rights. That's Home Run King, the remarkable record of Hank Aaron. Get it today on Amazon.com. And that's it for this edition of Travel It's Radio. This is Dan Schlossberg speaking, also for the absent Roger Noriega, saying thank you for your time this time. Until next time, join us next week when we'll stay in Florida, but move over to Bradenton for a visit with Elliot Falcioni and Keenan Singleton. Hope to see you then. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Good evening and stay safe.